Hey guys, so if you've been following me for quite a while, you'll know that last year I did a lot of videos on San Diego Comic-Con. I did one video where I talked about all the big news that had dropped, and I did individual videos on all the big trailers. And I thought this year, to save me more time and to make it easier for you guys, I would just combine all the trailer talks into one video. And besides, there wasn't really that much big news that dropped over the weekend. I suppose the biggest news that happened was that Brie Larson is going to be Captain Marvel, but apart from that, it was mostly the trailers that were the biggest talking points from this year's Comic-Con. So, without further ado, I'm going to talk about the trailers that interested me the most and had me wanting to go and see those movies. Now, just so you know, I will not be talking about any of the Marvel stuff that happened on the Sunday of the Comic-Con, and that is because I will only be talking about trailers that I've seen and trailers that have interested me. And none of the stuff that happened on Sunday from Marvel has dropped online yet, like the footage from Spider-Man Homecoming or the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer. So none of that's come out online, so I will not be talking about it, unfortunately. So, the first one that I want to talk about is the Comic-Con trailer for Sausage Party. If you're not sure what this is, it's the newest comedy by Seth Rogen and co, but this time it's animated. And I have to admit, from the very first trailer that dropped several months ago, I've been on board with this. It's been hilarious, all the trailers have been funny, and I think this is going to be one of the funniest movies of the year, honestly. This trailer had a lot more to offer. It shows you the conflict between the food and the humans, and it has some of the funniest jokes. I do hope they haven't used all the funniest jokes from the movie in the trailers, because that would be really disappointing, but either way, there is this one hilarious moment towards the end of the trailer involving a toilet roll that is just downright hilarious.
Looking at me with your little shoes and your arms and your legs.
Look at me! I ain't got no legs. You ate my goddamn legs!
What did he do to you?
You don't want to fucking know.
So the next trailer that I'm going to talk about is a film that I didn't actually know was a thing until this trailer dropped, and that is Blair Witch. Blair Witch, I think, will be a sequel to the 90s found footage film The Blair Witch Project, which, if you don't know what that is, well, where have you been? No, I'm only joking. The Blair Witch Project was one of the very first horror movies to use the found footage style of filmmaking, and it kind of kick-started that whole horror genre. You could say it's been used to death since, but seeing that it is a sequel to the Blair Witch Project, I'm pretty interested. I haven't seen the Blair Witch Project, but the trailer looked interesting. They could go one of two ways. It could be a straight up sequel, or it could be 10 Cloverfield Lane-esque, where it's not really a sequel, but it is still kind of related. There is one thing I don't get about this trailer though. I'm not sure whether it is found footage or whether it isn't, because you do get the shaky moments that make it look like found footage, but on the other hand, a lot of the shots look very well lit and very well shot. So that makes me think it might be a proper movie rather than a found footage one. I'm not 100% sure, so we might have to wait until the film comes out to see whether that is true or not. The next one up is Kong Skull Island. I still thought this movie was in production. I didn't realise they had a trailer ready, but I saw the trailer and it is great. And especially seeing that this Kong is in the same universe as the 2014 Godzilla will mean that fans will be looking forward to the eventual Godzilla vs. King Kong, which I'm presuming is where they're going with this. But this trailer was really good. I still like the 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong movie, but this one looks just as good. It looks like the traditional Kong, you know, the very old black and white one. Because, and I don't just mean that by the tone and style of the trailer, which is true, it does feel like the older one, but the look of Kong as well. You don't see much of him in the trailer, but what you do see of him looks very much like the old claymation version of Kong, rather than the newer CGI one. Next one up is Doctor Strange. I've been on board with this film since day one because it looks like it's going to be one of the most unique movies that we've ever seen in the MCU, unlike anything that has been in Marvel's back catalogue since. And from the first trailer alone, I was convinced. It looks great. It has everything that I want this film to have. And this trailer just cements that, because you got mind-bending visuals, an A-list cast, and a director who they've just picked out of obscurity, which usually means a good thing in terms of Marvel. Because, I mean, look, they picked James Gunn out of its obscurity to direct Guardians of the Galaxy. That worked out really well. And the same goes for the Russo brothers with the Captain America films. And all their choices have been pretty good so far, so I'm looking forward to this movie, and it's kind of going to be kind of weird seeing that the director for this movie has a very long back catalogue in horror films, so I'm interested to see what he brings from that genre to the MCU. Now, the next few I'm going to talk about very quickly because there really isn't that much to talk about, and this is the Netflix Marvel shows Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and The Defenders. The Luke Cage trailer was pretty fun. It shows him kicking some ass, and that's pretty much it. You just see how badass Luke Cage is. But I'm pretty sure they established that in Jessica Jones. I haven't watched Jessica Jones because I don't have Netflix, but I'm pretty sure they should have established that. The Iron Fist trailer, again, doesn't really show much. It's a boy on an airplane. The airplane crashes and some monks bring him on as an apprentice and he becomes Iron Fist. I'm presuming that's where it goes, but in all fairness, Iron Fist isn't one of my most favourite Marvel characters. I don't know anything at all about this character. Whereas with Doctor Strange, I know a bit about him to get involved with it, but with Iron Fist, he just doesn't really appeal to me, and he just looks uninteresting. I don't know whether that's just me, but it just doesn't look that good. And the other Netflix show that Marvel had to announce was The Defenders, which is kind of like a mini Avengers. You've got Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage all coming together to be this kind of mini supergroup to protect New York, I suppose. I don't know where these things are set. Okay, we're almost near the end, but now it's time to push Marvel aside and talk about the DC stuff. Now, I know there was a big final Suicide Squad trailer that came out, but I've found in the past that it's always the final trailer or the last few, before, literally weeks before the film comes out, that have the most spoilery footage in it, so I'm going to stay away from that as far as possible. I did see the panel, but I just want to stay away from that trailer as far as I can. But we do have a Wonder Woman and Justice League trailer to talk about. The Wonder Woman trailer looks very interesting. It looks vibrant, colourful, and a load of fun, which is something that the DC Universe has been missing for the last few movies, especially Batman v Superman. But the fun elements of their films are starting to come through in the Suicide Squad trailers and these recent Wonder Woman and Justice League trailers. The Wonder Woman one, it looks very colourful, very vibrant, and it looks like it could be very entertaining. And the Justice League trailer, on the other hand, we finally see these characters, these superheroes, in action. You see Jason Momoa's Aquaman, which looks better than the one we saw in Batman v Superman. We actually get a proper glance at Ezra Miller's The Flash. I think he's going to be good. He gives a good performance in the trailer, but the suit is awful. Honest to God, the Flash suit is so bad. But, like I said, there is a lot more humour put into this trailer, which looks like we could get a fun, entertaining vibe from these upcoming DC movies, rather than the drab, depressing, grey-scale ones we've been getting. And the very last trailer I want to talk about is Sherlock Series 4. I've been following Sherlock since it very first started, which is why I thought the TV mini-movie, The Abominable Bride, that came out this year, was quite disappointing. Because Series 3 finished on such a big cliffhanger that the fact that the mini-movie didn't progress the story and we're still in the same place that we were at the end of Series 3 was very disappointing, but this trailer for Series 4 looks like it could answer some very big questions, and we also get a glance at Toby Jones's new character, which looks very intriguing. So guys, that was my thoughts on all things Comic-Con. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Did you like these trailers? Did you hate them? Did you actually go to Comic-Con? Because if you did, I'm very jealous. But yeah, just let me know all the little thoughts you had about Comic-Con in the comments below. And yeah, stay tuned to this channel for the rest of the week because my review for Star Trek Beyond will be out on Wednesday, and I'm also planning a special video that should be out early next week, if not this weekend coming. You guys are awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!